You're carrying too much and you know it. It's not the job, nor the traffic, nor the routine. It's everything you don't let go of. People who no longer contribute anything, goals that no longer make sense, the habit of seeking approval, the anger you hide behind a smile. That's what's draining your energy. That's what's holding you back. And as long as you cling to what should have been left in the past, you'll remain stuck in the same place. You don't need more motivational advice or empty promises. What you need is silence to face yourself and the courage to uproot what keeps you tied down. The Stoics knew this. True freedom is not about having more, but needing less. Marcus Aurelius made it clear, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. If those thoughts are contaminated by comparisons, by anger, by the fear of disappointing others, there will be no peace even if you have everything. The problem is that many want to change, but they announce it to everyone. They seek applause and approval. They believe that change has to be visible from the outside, when in reality, it all begins in silence. That's where you demonstrate self-control, discipline, and true strength. Because nobody needs to know when you decide to stop chasing what's not worth it, when you close the door to criticism, when you give up arguing about things that don't matter. This video is a warning for those who are already tired of their own inertia. We're going to talk about what you need to quietly eliminate if you want to live with less weight and more power over yourself. Don't expect soft words. Each point will hit where it hurts, but it will also show you the way out. If you're seeking peace, discipline, and control, start by letting go of what's unnecessary. Here you'll learn how to do it. 1. The power of silence in the face of the traitor. When someone betrays you, the first impulse is usually to speak, demand explanations, seek justice. We want the traitor to know that they hurt us, that everyone sees who failed. That impulse is human, but it is also the trap that keeps you tied to the wound. Betrayal hurts, but the real loss comes later, when you give up your peace trying to defend your version of events to others. That's where you lose twice, first trust, then calm. Silence is not submission, it's strategy. A traitor lives off your reaction. They need you to explode, to claim, to scream, because that's how they justify what they did. When you don't give them that fuel, when you don't respond, you force them to face their own guilt alone. Seneca said that no one can hurt you without your consent. Your anger is that consent. Keeping silent does not mean accepting betrayal. It means refusing to let them continue to steal your energy. Imagine a well of clear water. Every time you respond with shouts and accusations, you throw stones into the well until the water becomes murky. The traitor disappears and you're left drinking that murky water. On the other hand, if you choose not to react, the well remains intact, clean. That's silence, preserving the clarity that the other wanted to dirty. The Stoics understood that the real damage is not in what others do, but in how you choose to interpret it. Marcus Aurelius advised that when someone hurts you, think about what moved that person to act that way. Often it was ignorance, fear, weakness. Understanding this is not excusing their betrayal, it is freeing yourself from the resentment that ties you to them. Because every word of anger you throw is another rope that ties you to someone who has already shown they don't deserve your loyalty. In everyday practice, silence does not mean standing idly by. It means that you act without spectacle. You take distance, adjust boundaries, close doors without needing to announce it. Maybe you stop answering messages, maybe you cancel a plan or reject an invitation. No one needs your justifying speech. Dignity is not explained, it is exercised. The traitor expects to see you fall to feel justified. They expect your reaction to tell their own story with half-truths. When you remain silent, you disarm them. There is no argument, no fight, no drama. There is only a wall of calm that they cannot climb. That is the real victory, not revenge, but intact peace. Silence is also a teacher. It forces you to listen to yourself, to distinguish between legitimate pain and wounded ego. It teaches you that not everything deserves a response, that your energy is limited and cannot be wasted in explaining the obvious. Sometimes the greatest punishment for a traitor is realizing that they do not have access to you, or your voice, or your attention. Do not confuse this silence with weakness. To be silent is not to be cowardly. On the contrary, it takes more courage to contain fury than to let it out. It takes discipline not to tell the world what they did to you, not to seek allies for your anger. Silence is an act of self-control, and self-control is power. If you want to recover from a betrayal, don't look for words that hurt harder. Look for the type of silence that protects your dignity. Make your absence weigh more than any argument. There you will understand why silence, when used firmly, is not only a refuge, but also a weapon. 2. Let go of goals that no longer matter. One of the heaviest burdens that the mind carries are not current problems, but goals that we stopped questioning. Goals that once made sense, but today have nothing to do with the person we are. Yet we continue to pursue them as if they were obligations etched in stone. It's like carrying a sack of bricks just because someone years ago told you it was valuable. You keep carrying it out of inertia, even though you no longer build anything with them. Outdated goals are silent traps. At first, you define them with enthusiasm. A promotion you thought was necessary, an academic degree to please your family, a relationship you promised to maintain even if it made you unhappy. But over time, you changed, you grew. You discovered that the emotional cost is higher than the benefit. However, pride and fear of what will they say prevent you from letting them go. You don't let go because you believe that giving up is equivalent to failing, when in reality, clinging to the useless is the real failure. Epictetus taught not to suffer for what is out of your control. Goals that no longer resonate with your current purpose are one of those things, out of your control, because they belong to the self that no longer exists. Keeping them alive is living for a ghost. Marcus Aurelius said, "Man harms himself more by pursuing what he does not need than by losing what he needs." If you cling to those old goals, you wear yourself out in battles that no longer build your present. Imagine rowing with all your strength against the current towards a port you no longer want to visit. Every day you invest time and energy to move in the wrong direction. That is the price of not letting go. Every step you take towards a dead goal is a step you do not take towards something new that does matter. Letting go is not giving up, it's maturing. It's recognizing that you are not the same person who made that decision and that it's okay to change course. Many confuse persistence with stubbornness. Persisting in the right thing is admirable. Persisting in the useless is self-destructive. In Stoic practice, letting go of outdated goals is an act of inner freedom. Review your list of objectives and ask yourself, is this still mine, or is it a memory of who I was? Do I pursue it out of real desire or out of fear of disappointing others? If the answer does not align with your present life, let it go. Silence plays a crucial role here. You don't need to justify yourself to others when you decide to leave a project, close a cycle, or abandon a career that no longer fulfills you. You owe no one an explanation as to why you changed. Your life is not a contract with the past, nor a debt with others' expectations. Freeing yourself from those goals frees mental and emotional space. It's like removing old furniture from a house. Suddenly there's light air, space for new things. There is no worse chain than pursuing dreams that no longer belong to you. And there is no greater courage than admitting that something has lost its value and moving on. The world taught you that giving up is weakness, but the Stoics knew that letting go is strength. It takes courage to accept that you were wrong, that what made sense to you yesterday may not serve today. It takes humility to let go of pride and the need to prove to others that you did not give up. Ask yourself every so often if your current effort is directed towards something that still nourishes you or towards something that only keeps your ego alive. The answer may make you uncomfortable, but that discomfort is a sign that it's time to change. 3. Calm, your greatest weapon against anger. Anger is like a fire that starts with a spark. A poorly spoken word, a gesture you interpreted as contempt, a memory that burns you inside. If you don't control it, it burns until it consumes everything around it. Your reason, your words, your peace, and often your relationships. The irony is that the fire of anger almost never burns the one who provoked it. It first burns the one who holds it. The Stoics saw anger as the worst of the internal enemies because it clouds judgment. Seneca wrote an entire treatise on it and described it as a brief madness, a state in which you lose control of yourself. True strength is not in responding with shouts or in showing that you can hurt harder. It is in not allowing the other to decide your reaction. Every time you explode, you give away your power. Every time you keep calm, you recover it. Imagine someone trying to provoke you, throwing words at you like arrows. If you react with anger, you give them the bow and arrows they will use against you. If you remain calm, the attack becomes useless. Their arrows fall to the ground. Calm is not indifference. It is strategy. It is emotional intelligence in its purest state. In everyday life, confusing calm with weakness is one of the biggest mistakes. We believe that those who are silent are submissive, but in reality, self-control is one of the highest forms of power. Marcus Aurelius said that the best revenge against an enemy is not to resemble him. If they shout at you and you shout, you lose. If they insult and you insult, you fall into the same mud. Calm is not feeling. It is choosing not to react as they expect you to. Mastering anger is not repressing it until it explodes later. It is learning to understand its origin. Ask yourself, what is hurting me that makes me react this way? Anger is often a signal that something touches your ego, your fear, or your pride. Recognizing it gives you control not to turn that impulse into a disaster. Stoic practice teaches to prepare the mind before difficult moments arrive. Don't wait to be furious to decide how you will react. Train yourself each day by remembering that you cannot control the behavior of others, but you can control your response. If they insult you, observe. If they provoke you, analyze. If they pressure you, breathe. Breathing is a bridge to calm. A few seconds of pause can save you from weeks of regret. In the silence of calm, you find clarity. The words you didn't say in the heat won't haunt you later. The decisions you made in the cold won't need apologies. That calm is an invisible shield that not only protects your dignity, it also disarms the other. Whoever seeks your anger wants to drag you into their chaos. Don't give up that ground. Don't confuse self-control with coldness. Being calm doesn't mean you don't care about anything. It means you choose to take care of your energy. Each burst of anger is wasted energy that you could invest in building, in advancing, in protecting what really matters. The next time you feel the rage rising, remember that every word spoken in anger is a brick that you will have to remove later. Stay silent, breathe, and wait. The time to act will come, but let it be when your mind is in charge, not your anger. Calm is an art and a discipline. You don't inherit it, you build it. Practice it every day in small things, in traffic, in a line, in the face of an annoying comment. Each victory in the small strengthens your mastery in the big. 4. Break the habit of comparing yourself. Comparing yourself to others is like drinking salt water. The more you do it, the thirstier you become, and the less peace you find. At first, it seems harmless to look at what someone else has, what they have achieved, or what they show on social media. But little by little, it becomes a poison that erodes your self-esteem and distorts your perception of reality. You don't realize that by measuring your worth with the yardstick of others, you start living a life that is not your own. The Stoics warned that envy and comparison are self-imposed chains. Epictetus said that happiness depends on placing desire only in what is under our control. Comparing yourself, on the other hand, robs you of control. You hand over your peace to others' achievements, to circumstances you don't manage. Every time you measure your life against someone else's, you are saying, without realizing it, that your worth depends on their trajectory. The problem with comparison is that it never ends. Today, you envy one's success, tomorrow another's body, the day after someone else's relationship. It's a race without a finish line, because there will always be someone with something you believe is better than yours. The irony is that while you're looking at someone else's path, you stop moving forward on your own. Imagine running on a track, but instead of looking forward, you turn to watch the other runners. You stumble, lose your rhythm, and end up further behind, not because you're slow, but because you lost focus. The same happens in life. Constant comparison not only steals energy, but also time. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Let's adapt it. Don't waste any more time comparing what your life should be. Live it." Greatness is not measured in relation to others, but in the faithfulness you have to your own values and goals. Breaking the habit of comparing yourself does not mean you stop admiring others. Admiring is learning, getting inspired, recognizing the merit of others. Toxic comparison, on the other hand, arises when that admiration turns into judgment against yourself. You can be inspired by someone without using them as an excuse to belittle yourself. Stoic practice invites you to look inward. Ask yourself every day what you are doing to improve according to your own principles. Are you more disciplined today than yesterday? More patient, stronger, more aware? These are the only comparisons that serve you. Those that confront you with your past self, not with other people's lives. Silence also plays a role here. You don't need to announce your progress or your plans to validate yourself in front of others. Let the results speak. Let time show the fruit of your effort. Many compare because they feel they are competing for attention. When you decide not to enter that competition, you regain your freedom. Comparison is an illusion that makes you forget that each person carries invisible battles. You admire the achievements, but you don't see the sacrifices. You envy the smiles, but you don't know the scars. And you, meanwhile, underestimate your own victories because you are busy measuring lives that are not your own. In everyday life, the key is to redirect your attention. Every time you feel that you are comparing yourself, stop and ask yourself this question: does this bring me closer to my purpose, or does it take me away from it? If the answer is that it takes you away, cut off the thought immediately. Comparison is not eliminated all at once. It weakens every time you decide not to feed it. When you break this habit, life feels lighter. Not because the challenges disappear, but because you stop carrying the false obligation to be like someone else. 5. Stop living to please others. There is no more invisible prison than living in search of others' approval. Many do not realize that they have spent years playing a role they did not choose, changing their way of speaking, dressing, acting, just to fit into expectations they do not even respect. It is a silent wear and tear. You sacrifice your essence in exchange for applause that disappears in seconds. And the worst part, while you try to please everyone, you end up dissatisfied with yourself. The Stoics considered this need to please as an obstacle to freedom. Epictetus said that only slaves live worried about what others think of them, because the moment your value depends on another person, you lose control of your life. Every time you seek approval, you hand over the helm of your destiny to others. The problem with living to please is that it never ends. Today you please your family, tomorrow your friends, then strangers on social networks. There will always be someone with a new expectation, a new criticism, a new standard to meet. It's like filling a bottomless barrel. The more you give, the more empty you become. Imagine a puppet with strings pulled from all sides. One string is held by your boss, another by your partner, another by your friends, another by the anonymous opinions you read on the internet. As you try to please each one, you forget to cut the strings and walk by yourself. Living like this is not life. It's acting out a script that others write. Seneca warned that he is a slave who depends on many, even if he reigns over all. If you spend the day waiting for others' approval, you give up your peace and your time because you live according to what you expect others to validate. And when you do not receive that validation, you feel that you have failed, even if you have done something valuable to you. True freedom begins when you decide to stop pleasing those who are not on your essential path. This does not mean becoming cold or selfish. It means that you start to act from your principles and not from the fear of others' judgment. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I really want to, or because I fear disappointing someone? If the answer is the latter, there you have proof that you are not living your life. In daily practice, this Stoic lesson translates into small acts of rebellion, saying no without feeling guilty, expressing what you think even if it is uncomfortable, standing firm in your decisions even if not everyone applauds them. The goal is not to please, but to live with coherence. Silence is also a powerful ally in this process. You do not need to announce your limits or justify every step you take. Often, explaining too much is another way to seek approval. If you decide to change course, do it without speeches. If you say no to an invitation, do not give 1,000 excuses. The serenity of your decision will be enough. Living to please makes you a prisoner of impossible expectations. You adapt so much to what others want that you lose sight of yourself. Recovery begins by remembering that you were not born to entertain or impress. You were born to live according to what makes you whole and at peace. Ceasing to please does not mean losing relationships. It means that the ones that remain are real. Whoever stays by your side when you no longer try to please them is the one who truly values you. The rest were just momentary audiences. 6. Act today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Waiting for the perfect moment is one of the most expensive illusions we pay for with our life. We say we will start when we have more time, when circumstances improve, when fear disappears. That when never comes because it doesn't exist. The perfection you imagine is just an elegant excuse to keep postponing what you know you should do. The Stoics saw procrastination as a way to waste the most valuable thing, time. Seneca wrote that, while we postpone, life goes by. Every day you wait to feel ready is a lost day that will not return. The uncomfortable truth is that you will never be fully prepared, and even so, you have to start. The problem with waiting is that time never accommodates to your convenience. There will always be noise, problems, distractions, doubts. If you stop until everything is aligned, you will live eternally stopped. Today's imperfect action is worth more than tomorrow's perfect plan. Imagine standing in front of a closed door that will only open when the wind blows in the exact direction you expect. You can spend your whole life waiting for that wind, while others who did not wait have already crossed and moved on. Action is what moves doors, not external conditions. Marcus Aurelius insisted that we should not fear obstacles, because every obstacle is an opportunity to act. If you always wait for comfort before acting, you will never develop the character necessary to face real challenges. The path will never be flat. Your growth begins when you decide to walk even though there are stones. In everyday life, this lesson is brutally simple. Stop saying tomorrow. Start today, even if you don't have everything figured out. Write the first page of that project. Make the call you've been postponing. Go for a walk even if you don't have the perfect gear. Study even if it's not the ideal time. The key is in doing, not thinking. Silence plays in your favor here. You don't have to announce every step or wait for the approval of others to take it. Many times, sharing too much before acting is another way of looking for excuses. If you say it out loud, you start to receive opinions that stop you. Do it in silence, without ceremonies or announcements, and let progress speak for you. The habit of waiting for the perfect moment disguises itself as prudence, but in reality it is fear dressed as logic. It's fear of failure, of judgment, of not being up to par. Overcoming it requires courage to accept that you will fail sometimes, that you will make mistakes, that not everything will turn out as you imagine. But each mistake brings you closer to the goal than staying still. Time is like sand between your fingers. While you decide whether to act, it escapes. You won't be able to recover it, but you can decide to stop losing it. Don't wait to have confidence to move. Move to build confidence. When you act today, even with small steps, you break the spell of infinite waiting. You discover that you didn't need the perfect moment, you just needed to move. Each day you do, you strengthen your discipline and weaken the power of procrastination over you. There will be no divine signs or ideal conditions. All you have is this instant. If you don't use it, you lose it. Start today, even if it's clumsy, even if it's incomplete, even if it's uncertain. What matters is that you begin, because the worst regret does not come from what you did and went wrong, but from everything you never tried, waiting for the perfect moment that never came. 7. Close the door to gossip. Gossip is the cheapest and easiest poison to get. It slips into everyday conversations disguised as interest, concern, or humor, but it always comes at a cost: your peace and your credibility. Talking about others' lives may seem harmless at first, even entertaining, but gradually it transforms you into someone who spends their energy on what they cannot change and loses respect for themselves. The Stoics taught to take care of the mind's focus. Marcus Aurelius warned not to waste your attention on what does not depend on you, because that's where you lose control of your life. Gossip is exactly that, a leakage of energy towards matters you cannot solve or improve. Every word you repeat about others is time taken away from your own growth. The danger of gossip is not only in what it says about others, but in what it reveals about you. Participating in it shows that your mind is more occupied in judging than in building. Moreover, the one who hears how you talk about others knows that in their absence, you will do the same with them. The gossip monger is never seen as trustworthy. They are a broken bridge in any relationship. Imagine a room full of echoes. Every time you share a rumor, that echo comes back sooner or later, distorted, amplified, hitting you. What you throw into the air rarely comes back clean. The reputation you destroy ends up leaving cracks in your own. Seneca wrote that we should learn to speak little and only of what is necessary, because he who speaks much errs much. Practicing silence on others' matters is not coldness, it's discipline. Keeping quiet when someone tries to drag you into an empty conversation is an act of respect towards yourself. Closing the door to gossip does not mean isolating yourself. It means having standards about what you allow into your mind. Ask yourself before opening your mouth, does what I'm about to say build something? Is it true, useful, or necessary? If it doesn't meet at least one of these requirements, silence is the better response. In everyday life, this practice becomes a powerful filter. Start by refusing to comment on absentees. Stop following conversations on networks that only seek to expose and destroy. Learn to change the subject firmly, to show with your attitude that you are not available to feed rumors. At first it's uncomfortable, because many confuse silence with disinterest, but in reality it's self-control. Gossip steals something that is not seen: mental clarity. It fills the mind with judgments about others that contribute nothing and are often not even true. The mind occupied with others has no space to reflect on its own. When you close that door, you discover how much energy you've freed for what really matters: your projects, your peace, your genuine relationships. Silence in the face of gossip is also a shield. When you don't participate, you don't leave traces that can be used against you. You don't provide material for misinterpretations or unnecessary conflicts. And above all, you show that you don't need to tear others down to stand tall. The Stoics saw self-control of the tongue as an essential virtue. Mastering what you say is mastering your destiny, because words are seeds. What you sow with them sooner or later grows. Closing the door to gossip is more than a moral act. It's a strategy to keep your mind focused, your reputation intact, and your inner peace safe. 8. Accept reality, not fantasy. Much of human suffering does not come from what happens, but from what we invent about what happens. We believe that reality hurts us, but what tears us apart are broken expectations, illusions we build that never existed outside of our minds. As long as you continue to fight against what is, you will continue to wear yourself out in a war you can never win. The Stoics taught that serenity is found by aligning yourself with facts, not desires. Marcus Aurelius repeated, "Love what happens to you, because it was woven for you by nature." This does not mean that you should love pain or resign yourself to injustice. It means accepting that the world is as it is at this moment, with its losses, its unforeseen events, and its imperfection. Fantasy is comfortable because it allows you to imagine a world where things happen your way, where that person treats you as you expected, where work is always fair, where time does not take away what you love. But that comfort is a mirage. The more you take refuge in it, the more fragile you become in the face of the truth. Accepting reality is not surrendering, it is regaining control. When you deny what is in front of you, you spend energy fighting against the wind. When you accept it, even if it hurts, you become capable of acting with clarity. Denial is a bandage that keeps you immobile. Acceptance is the light that shows the way forward. Imagine standing in front of the sea, trying to stop the waves with your hands. That is resisting reality, exhausting and useless. Accepting is understanding that you cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to swim, build a boat, or move away from the shore. In everyday life, this means seeing people for what they really are, not for the potential you imagined. It means recognizing that some doors are closed and not wasting years trying to force them. It means admitting that certain opportunities have already passed and that the present demands new strategies, not more nostalgia. Silence plays an essential role here. Accepting in silence prevents you from using words to disguise the obvious or to justify the unjustifiable. We often talk too much trying to convince others and ourselves that things are not so bad, that there is still hope where only ruin remains. Keeping silent in the face of the truth is a first step to digesting it. Seneca warned that life becomes lighter when we stop wishing for the world to obey our whims. There is no peace in trying to change the immutable. Peace comes from adjusting our attitude to the inevitable. Accepting reality also involves forgiving yourself for the illusions you held. You were not weak for dreaming, you were human. What matters is not staying trapped there. Every moment spent wishing for a different past is a moment stolen from the future you could build. Strength is not in hardening the heart, but in opening the eyes. When you decide to see things as they are, you regain the energy that you previously spent denying the obvious. And with that energy, you can plan, adapt, move forward. Accepting reality without adornments or fantasies is the most liberating act of courage there is. It is not an end. It is the point where, at last, you stop running from the truth and start walking towards a lighter, clearer, and more personal life. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. If you watched the whole thing, comment, "I am Stoic," as our secret signal to know that you're a true student of Stoicism. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. See you in the next video, and remember, keep cultivating your Stoic mind.